Thank you for joining in on another wonderful podcast. My name is Evelyn McAleer. My greatest value is making a difference to people's lives, and I hope by listening to this podcast it can make a difference to your day. And I want to say thank you so much for supporting my channel, because you make a difference to my life. Enjoy. Today's show is sponsored by Local Women magazine. Local Women is Northern Ireland's best-selling magazines, offering unrivaled access to customers across the country. Visit localwomenmagazine.com. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, whoever can get to listen to yet another inspirational story. I'm delighted I have youth on the podcast show. And today I am joined by a beautiful lady, Sara Keenan. Sara's 23 years old, from Ireland, and currently living in London, doing her master's in journalism. But what I liked, what Sara wrote to me, was that if someone had told her this 4 years ago, she would have laughed at them. And isn't that just the way life goes? If we were to see or foresee our future, we would stop it before it even began. So, Sara, you are most welcome to the show today.
Thank you. Hello. I'm excited to be on.
Are you feeling nervous today? I'll go easy.
Not really. Like, once I get talking, it's all good. It's like at the start, it's like, oh, this is new. But yeah.
Well, this is it. As you said in part of your bio, that your confidence is growing. And all these things too are all part of having a conversation, interacting. And I suppose what always these podcasts are, that on the strength of this, that perhaps we can make a difference to someone else's day, which takes us out of our own head. And whatever story you have to share, feel free to share, that someone might be listening to it and think, that's the girl for me.
Yeah. That's the thing as well. Like, with confidence, I think you're either, like, I spent a lot of time not doing things and not like even with my hair and stuff, and like not having my hair the way I wanted it. And I think it's just, you're either going to be like hidden forever, and like it's always internal, you want to do it, but you're going to be stuck, or else you just do it. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? And like 9 times out of 10, nothing bad does happen from just being yourself and being confident. So I think you just have to sometimes just say it, just do it. And
that's it, just do it. And the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, I have a visual here. I can see Sara, and you may see from the little profile picture, the beautiful profile picture we have up. Now, when Sara said about doing her hair the way she wants it to do, now, for the rest of it, like, oh, what way does she want it? Cut it, color it, curl it, straighten it. Now, as Sara has written, and you will see, Sara is mixed race. And so your hair, Sara, is a different texture, perhaps, than the wee redhead that you're sharing the room with, or, you know, your other Irish friends as you were growing up.
Yeah.
Did, you know, and I know you had a wonderful childhood in Ireland, but I suppose the stereotypical that we have ourselves is, oh, the Irish, the redhead, the freckle face, the pale skin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I am quite sure you were the envy of many a person with your lovely, lovely skin.
Maybe, yeah, that's the thing. Like, no one ever was really like rude to me or nothing. Like, I got a lot of compliments over my hair whenever I did have it natural, but and like over my skin and stuff, I got like compliments from the majority. There was obviously a few that, like, you know, just the usual stuff, but I think it was more internal. So I wanted to be like everyone else. Like, I came from like a group of like 11 friends, and like they're all like white and they have nice long hair, and like my hair is naturally curly, like quite tight afro curls, and I just look nothing like them at all. And it was something that like I didn't really notice in primary school. It was kind of like, okay, like, you're a child, you don't really pick up, obviously you do pick up on things, probably not subconsciously, but it was more secondary school, and I just wanted to be pretty. And I thought my idea of pretty, because everyone around me looked a certain way, was straight hair, white makeup, just trying to like not be seen nearly. Like, I didn't want to stand out for being different. I wanted to be like everyone else. And that went on for quite a long time. I think that went on until I was like 21. even through uni and stuff. I straightened my hair nearly 2-3 times a day. And like no one was telling me to do that. It was myself. It was internal stuff. And I remember asking my mom if I could get my hair relaxed, and she was like, no. And like I begged and I cried, and I was like, please let me get my hair permanently straight. And like she was like, no, you're gonna regret it whenever you're older. And during lockdown, I'd wash my hair and it obviously went curly again. And I just looked at it and I was like, this is fine. Like, why have I decided to straighten it? And then I posted a picture of my hair curly on my Instagram, and like it just got a lot of support. And I was like, what was the reason for being scared? And now, as you can see, like, I've got the braids. They're really long.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely, it's glorious. But yes, so just a wee bit of background really on Sarah. So Sarah's mom is from Ireland, County Tyrone, I believe, and your father was from Gambia.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to meet your dad, Sarah?
Literally a month ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was the first time I met him. Didn't really know anything. I knew stuff, like mum like would have told me stuff, but I didn't want to know, I don't think. So I didn't ask any questions again until lockdown. I just like was like wondering if other brothers and sisters, like I wonder is there anyone else, like other family, more so the other family than maybe him, because I don't know how I felt towards that situation. And then I think him and mum been in contact, and she just said it to me one day. She was like, have something to tell you, and like just brought up like the pictures of my other brothers and sisters who are all young.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. So how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have altogether 7. That's including my 2 sisters at home, but he has 5 other children, and yeah, they're all like one of the youngest ones, like 5. She's the same age as my younger sister in Ireland. So I seen that and I just like burst into tears, and like it was just a lot. And then there was a conversation of, did I want to be in contact with him? Because he wanted to contact me, and that took a while. I was like, I'm not saying yes, no, nothing. And then maybe like 2 months later, I eventually was like, right, okay, I'm ready, just for a text message, not a phone call. And I knew it was happening within the week, but I didn't know what day. So I went for a walk with one of my friends, and just loads of messages came through on WhatsApp. And like whenever I say I nearly fainted, I was like, what is going on? It was just such a surreal experience. That was 2 years ago, I think. And now it's took me up to now to be ready to meet him. So it took me like nearly 2 years just to process everything and decide, did I want to do this? Do I not? And it was a journey. Yeah, so I met him last month and it was great. It was like a weight off my shoulders. It just felt like, and that's something.
Did you
like
get to meet him in London or in Ireland?
In London. Mum and my stepdad came over to support me, and I'm glad they were there, because yeah, I don't know if I would have actually went through with it, but it was a really good experience, and I felt so much better after it.
Well, that's a big thing, but you know, there's a lot of people follow that long lost family, and we always see the fairy tale ending in quite a lot of the cases. But to after 23 years to get to meet your father for the first time, do you feel for yourself as being mixed race that it somewhere has, as much as you think, look, this is Sarah, this is who I am, this is where I'm from, not alone now, and you had a stepfather, this is blood, this is something that I can relate to, perhaps. Did it fill anything more, any gaps for you, Sarah?
Yeah, so growing up very much Irish, like I was into everything that was Irish, and that's what I always say, like I am Irish. And then as I got older and I started like, whenever I started having my natural hair and stuff, and I had the braids, and then the George Floyd happened, and like BLM happened, and I started seeing more people from like Northern Ireland speaking up that were Black as well. And I was like, I did not know there was so many people here, because where I'm from, there's like, I don't know, there's not a lot.
No, there definitely isn't in the country.
Yeah, and then I was like, there's so many people like me that are feeling the same feelings as me that I thought weren't valid. And then that's whenever the conversation came up about, do I have other brothers and sisters? I want to know more about like the African culture. So I think now, like meeting him and knowing I have like other aunties and stuff that I can talk to about those type of things, because my family at home, like they're amazing, I can talk to them about everything, but it's different because as much as I can tell them stuff, you can't fully understand the situation until you're in it. And and they would say that like they're never going to understand like some of the things I go through, because they are different than me in that way, like when it comes to like my skin color, my race. So it's nice to have that side now, because I didn't have a lot of Black people growing up. I had like none really. So now that I have this whole other family that I can go to for certain things that maybe other people won't 100% get, it's really nice feeling to have.
So do you have a good connection then with the wider circle with your aunts and uncles from your dad's side?
It's getting there. Like I know he's told me like they're itching to meet me, but he's still like getting to know me. So he wants me and him to have a good relationship, and that's what I want as well, because it's a very overwhelming experience. So to go from
Surely.
meeting one person to like loads and loads of others, I think would be a lot. So I think maybe one person at a time. But there is like it's open to me whenever I wanted like to go and do that.
And is he still in Gambia?
No, so he lives in Saudi Arabia at the minute, but he's back and forth between like America. Like he does a lot of traveling. So at the minute he's in America, and then he's flying back to London. I'm actually meeting him tomorrow. He's in London for the
Wow.
day, and then he's back to Saudi Arabia. But like he's all over basically. So yeah, there's a lot of traveling and work.
Gosh, isn't it amazing? And this is why I love the joys of conversation, not asking questions beforehand, not saying what I'm going to ask, us allowing the flow. And I certainly watch those programs where I see that that parents or people are in search of their parents or their sons or daughters. And I suppose, Sarah, as difficult and as overwhelming as it, and you've adapted your life without that parental father figure, without someone identifying as the same skin color or the same hair issues, because those are things you think they might be trivial, but these do matter to me. Yeah. The blessings of now what you get to receive.
Yeah, exactly. And it's something that like I'm so grateful for my family at home. Like no matter what, like who I meet and stuff, like my other side, they're still like my day ones, and like they're the ones that have been there through everything. And I think as well, moving to London, like yes, you miss your friends and stuff, but it just makes you realize how important your family is. And I'll never forget like the blessings from them that I've always had my whole life. Obviously the ones I have now are amazing too, and I'm so glad I'm getting to have this connection to my dad and stuff. But I think it's just so nice to know that you have such a amazing thing that you've had from day one.
Wow. Well, Sarah, I definitely, for your new connection, your newfound family, the bigger, wider circle that you're going to have, and probably more traveling involved with yourself. And you never know, there could be this inner culture.
Yeah.
Not, it just doesn't have to be all Irish. You never know when you go with the flow and allow yourself to be open to seeing what's out there. This is part of me or part of my identity, to embrace all of that. That's amazing. Wow. Fabulous. But you were just saying there about, the white girls and you love your hair like them. I would imagine if someone was to give me a piece of paper now to say how much money the white girls spend on fake tan. It's not even a joke.
So I seriously give them like the girls, like there's four of us now, Aaron Rose is here, and like we're going out tonight. And it's just the tan, like the preparation that goes into the tan, like their tanning routine and like have to scrub, and I'm just like, even like know what tan to get.
It is a routine, and I'm sure anyone that I'm as guilty as the next. I've done it before too, but it's all about timing. If you're going some road on Tuesday, perhaps not put on the tan today, or you have to get it exfoliated or scrubbed off before you apply the next bit.
Yeah.
And God bless all hotels out there with their lovely white linen sheets. It's the white girls that's leaving them.
Literally.
And when they were into Irish dancing as well, false tan, the fake tan, the wigs, everything was all part of that. Well, that's brilliant. I'm delighted for you, Sarah, to hear that part. So anyway, you're over there doing a bit of journalism. And as you said, if someone told you this 4 years ago, you wouldn't have believed them. Why not?
Because I don't know, ask any of my friends from home, I was like the quiet one or like the shy one, not even quiet, just shy, and like had no self-confidence. It got to the stage where if I was going to the toilet in school, I would need someone to walk with me because I was not like, I can't be seen with myself. And I just never, like, a big thing for me at home was drinking. Like that's where I got my confidence from, was getting a bit of drink in me, and then I would be like mad.
And that's alcohol. The drink means alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol. Yeah. So that's where I was getting all my confidence from. Apart from that, I was very like, didn't really like being in big groups or whatever. And then here I am now. I went to London by myself. Like didn't know any, like I obviously have friends here, but was moving into a house people I didn't know. Was going to do a course where I have to go out and I have to interview people. I have to speak, have to do video and publishing like what I think online. And it's just such a big leap from where I was before. Like needing other depending on people to do anything. Like no one would have ever thought I would be the one to leave and move by myself. It's a big change.
A lot of learn. Did you actually learn on those changes? You learn more about yourself.
It's something I think I always wanted to do, but it was like, oh, you couldn't do that. Like you're the shy one, you're the one that gets nervous, and like I still have parts of that in me. Like it takes sometimes if I'm in a big group, I will be quiet for a while, but eventually I'm like, just speak up. Like, why are you not speaking? This is silly. But back then it was just no, like she's the quiet one, she's the one that can't do anything alone. And yeah. It's been a nice
And what do you see for yourself as future plans, Sarah? Where would you? I know none of us is in control of much things, but if you had a vision of where you would like to see Sarah Keenan go, where would you be heading?
I just have like a feeling that like I'm gonna do like big things. Like I want to keep talking about things like this, like how I've changed and the journey I've been through in like a positive way. Like I've always said, like I want to educate people on like stuff like race at home and like just bigger issues, but I want to do it in a positive way. I don't want to be like preaching. Like I find it hard sometimes as well whenever you're passionate about something to try and keep your emotions out of it. But that's like a goal, like to have a platform. I'm obviously doing journalism, so in the news, I want to have my own podcast. I just want to try and make a difference in like the most positive way, and like even like for both races, like I want to make life easier for people at home that are like from a minority, but I also want to help educate everyone, because I think it's just a lack of education.
Well, that's what it is, too. I do believe is I always say people only know what they know, and sometimes older generations we're kind of stuck in our ways. So I had podcasts on before where it's the smaller communities, and look, there's great things with everybody knowing your business because they're there to help you out, but they know your business and they know what way things should be. And then when you move into the bigger cities, so you're coming from a small country village and heading into the big city where nobody really, there's a freedom with that within ourselves. A lot of people have never had that opportunity perhaps in Ireland, or they did leave Ireland, they never come back to Ireland, and those things. But Sarah, for anyone that's listening today, whether it should be skin color, whether sexuality, or whether they just feel I don't fit in, even if they look the same, even if they dress the same, I don't feel, people feel lost, they don't feel that they fit in. What advice would you give?
I think you literally just have to be like, just do it. Like that's it. That's all I done. I was just like, when I'm just gonna do it. And it sounds easier said than done. And like I know that because I struggled with it for years, but it's the most freeing experience in the world. Like it just feels like, I think if you're hiding who you are and stuff, it's like a burden every day. It's like an annoying feeling, you're not being yourself. And once you just like let it go, and it's scary, but like nothing bad usually is going to happen. And like if it does, we have good people around you, it's like it's fine. And as long as you believe in what you're saying and you're like being authentic to yourself, I don't think no matter what happens, like at least you're being honest. And I think that's a better feeling regardless of the consequences. Not that there usually is any. It's a better feeling than hiding who you are. And it's something I wish I had known whenever I was younger, but I appreciate the journey and like it happened for a reason. But it's just such a freeing experience.
Sarah, do you believe that we fear judgment for others simply because we're judging ourselves? As you said, it was me the whole time. It was me, the one that was judging myself. It was me, the one. And yes, physically, you could see by looking at other people, I don't look like these guys here, but it didn't stop you if you were involved in sports or involved with anything, like that. And I'm sure you had your friends growing up. But yes, the judgment that we hold on ourselves, when we have that, we fear other people judging us.
Yeah, and it's still things I see now. I'm a whole different person now, but it can still creep in sometimes. And I'm like, is anyone actually thinking that? Like, it's probably just myself, because I know I don't like maybe a certain thing about myself, or I'm scared of something, and I'm like, they're probably not thinking that. And like if they are, like if someone is judging, that's on them, because it says more about them than it does you. And usually if you find people that like are gossiping about someone that's doing well, it's usually out of jealousy, or like they wish they could do it but they can't. So that's where it stems from. So if anyone does judge, it's saying a lot more about themselves than it is about you. So I think that's the main thing to remember.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think for ourselves, I always say, look, maybe today I can be a better version of myself today. If we just concern myself with myself or what I can do for someone else or how I can push myself on, that's how we, I think, can bring about change.
Yeah.
But we, again, at the same, when I talk about change, it doesn't matter sometimes if we were to set a library book full of things or books down to people, if we were to line them up with all the most positive podcasts in the world, it doesn't necessarily mean that someone is going to change. Again, they have to make the conscious effort. I choose to take responsibility for my life. I choose to take responsibility for my actions, and I choose to take responsibility for my thoughts,
Yeah.
nobody else's.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was going to ask you a question. Those things that you say that when the thoughts come in there, because a lot of us have these negative thoughts, and we have thousands of them every day. When those thoughts come in, are you aware and catch them on time before you actually react from it?
Yeah, like I think everyone, like obviously whenever you're living with housemates, it's quite, you're always with each other. And now I find if I'm like, something annoys me or if I get those thoughts or something, I take myself away, because I think if I sit in the situation and your immediate reaction usually is to be annoyed or like go quiet. So I just take myself off for like an hour, journal, like do a meditation, even just sit in my room and like do something on the computer. And like just having an hour away, you come back and you're like, oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm just being dramatic. Like something came up and I'm just overthinking, because I am an overthinker, but now I'm so aware of how to deal with it. Because usually majority of the time, it's not even like a real situation. It's just my head. So I think just taking myself off is how I usually deal with it, like a walk, anything, gym, just something.
And it's not wonderful, even that what we do affirm, I am an overthinker.
Yeah.
You know, again, we're affirming that I am an overthinker. We're saying, no, hold on. I actually used to be an overthinker, but I am aware of my thoughts. I am an awareness thoughter. I'm aware now of my thoughts, rather than we still affirm.
Yeah, true.
We still keep affirming.
Yeah, that's so true. I just automatically said that. Like I'm an overthinker instead of, yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, I'm aware that I was an overthinker.
Mm-hmm.
And those are just, again, I think what we're conditioned is getting aware of them, thinking, no more.
Yeah.
Being present. How important is that? Just being in the now. If we could train ourselves to be here now, because I always say every now we're safe.
Yeah.
You're always safe in every now. Is on your meditation. Does that take you out of the realm of things, or perhaps the future, the past, but bring ourselves back to the now?
Yeah, that's like a meditation for, I don't do it a lot, but when I do, it's like it just calms everything, and like you are in the present moment, because you're not thinking about whatever was annoying you or whatever thought crept up. It's just you're listening to something and you're focusing on your breathing, and it just takes you away from everything, and you come out of it and you're like, okay, like you can think properly. Because I think whenever you're in that mindset and your mind's racing, and then you take it, like you just stop, you come back and you're like, none of that was even real, like that wasn't even true.
No,
like I was thinking.
that's the wonderful thing. But we will convince ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And well, actually, the more we convince ourselves, and especially in text message. Now, I do not know whether this is an age thing, but I love sending voice messages. And Erin Rose, my daughter, will just keep saying, Mommy, please, could you cut? I didn't realize actually you could speed them up, you know, by 2, and they go to go far quicker, because I like that a message is received how it's sent.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends. You could imagine if you had an argument with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and they just sent a message, you're going to read that how you're feeling.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah.
And then we respond back, and what did you mean by that? And they're like, where did the text message actually go wrong from it was sent?
Yeah, that's such
to that was received.
Yeah, I get, like, even myself, I like send voice messages too. And a text message, depending on how you take it, can literally change a whole context of a conversation. It's so true. And I found that as well. And it's something that I have to take a moment and be like, okay, maybe did they mean it like that? Like I'm probably taking it wrong, type of thing.
I did see, that's where things have changed too. Once upon a time, we used to write letters. But so I don't even know if somebody would know, write a letter. You need to get an envelope and put a stamp on it and actually post it. You know, but the text messages are extremely handy. But again, if we're in a bad mood, we'll always find something to strengthen that belief or that negative thought, because we'll read into something. We'll see, didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Wasn't I right?
It's like you're looking for ways to prove that something's wrong.
And you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Sarah, you know what? It's been so lovely. And I'm delighted for you that you've got to meet your dad.
Yeah.
After these, have you got round? Is it natural yet? Not natural to call him dad, or is it as you give him his first name?
I don't. If I was like going to meet him, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to meet my dad, but I wouldn't see him and be like, well, like I wouldn't say it to him, and he's not saved.
Well, da.
Not saved my phone as anything yet either. He just saved his number.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think I would call him that, because I have had my stepdad from I was like 9 and stuff, and I don't call him dad either. So I think I would just keep it neutral in that way.
Yeah. There you go. And do you know what? The wonderful thing is when you're surrounded by and living with people that it kind of, they think the same. We talk about a lot of younger people and are very much about manifesting, law of attraction. My thoughts are creating my reality, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Because there will be, and there are people that do struggle with that later on in life, but the sooner that people realize that at a younger age, and I have to say now, our age generation, how great we are then for keeping pushing that on, that it may not, that the change, and then, you know, your age group, when you keep up with your podcast, your journalism, and if it's news, make damn sure it's good news, because news is full of fear, that perhaps it can make change in that, and then that impacts the next generation, and then they can make, you know, for themselves.
Yeah, I can even
because
say
we are life.
I can even see my 2 younger sisters, they're 11 and 5, and from I've changed how I am, and I've like came here and I've been to London, they're seeing me doing great things, and like I talk about like race openly, and I talk about them openly, like on my TikTok and stuff, and like they're, especially the 11-year-old, she's very much like, she knows stuff now, and like she's very much in the kind of the same mind process as me and mind thought, and like she'll always talk about her feelings, and yeah, she's very like loving and stuff, and it's something I've seen a change in her since I've changed, and I think it's nice to see like them, obviously they look up to me, so it's nice to see that change in them as well.
Yeah, and them's great things, you know. Those are the things I think at the end of the day. Imagine if every person in this world loved themselves, but not the egotistical love, not the one that's greedy, not the one that's hard done by, not the one that's being the victim, not the one that's the punisher, really genuinely loved and accepted myself, there would be no issue with color or race or religion. There would be none at all, because at the end of the day, it would just be pure acceptance, because I accept and love me as I am. And I'll do the same for everyone else.
I think any like bad negative feelings or like hate towards a person comes from way deep down, because you wouldn't get it from if you see a certain type of person that was very positive and happy, you wouldn't get things like that. You just wouldn't, and you would know that by even looking at them. So I think you can even tell. I just think if you're not happy, as you said, if you're not happy in yourself, that's whenever all the comes out.
And that's the case. Look, and everybody will have a reason as to why life is the way that life. Now, you could come through this and say, my name is Sara Keenan, I'm 23. I had to leave Ireland because I'm mixed race, and nobody in Ireland was the same as me, and I was picked on at school. I was bullied on at school, and there was racism. And then I come to London, and my hair is different than everybody else, and I am the victim.
Yeah. Exactly.
You could have come through life like that, but you didn't. You said, I'm Sara Keenan, I'm 23, I live in London, I'm doing my master's in journalism. Yes, my skin color was different. Yes, my hair was different. I felt a wee bit different as I grew up later in years. I didn't know who my father was, but I'm here. I'm a champion. I've grew in confidence in myself. I have got to meet my father, and I am going to get to meet the wider circle, and I am going to keep moving on and growing in confidence, more positivity, making a big difference and a big impact for the better on this world. And that's who Sara Keenan is.
Yeah, that's what I think though. Like everything that as I grew up and I went through in my journey, like I would do it all again. Like there's nothing that I'm like, oh, I wouldn't want to do that. Like everything makes you into the person you are, and it is like if I didn't go through that, then what change would I be making? Like I would have nothing to go and talk about. Like, but I've had a journey and I've came out like 100 times better person, and it's made me who I am. And now I'm gonna go on and help people. So like I'm just like I'm happy it all happened. Like there's no sadness, there's no regret or nothing. It's just all like just very happy with how everything went.
Good, Karen. Good. Well, Sarah, listen, if anyone wants to follow you and check up on Sarah's journey and where it goes, I'll certainly be keeping an eye out. I'm very interested to hear where life takes you to. Could you give us some of your social media platforms?
So my Instagram is Sara Keenan 3. My Twitter is Sara Keenan 16, and yeah, there'll be more to come over the next few months, I hope.
Wonderful. And Sara is Sara. Keenan, Keenan, but I'll put all the wee details in the link below. Sara, I want to say thank you so much for your time today, for your positivity, and I hope that one person that this may have made a difference in your life. Sara, thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for being here, and I hope through this podcast that I have made a difference to your day. And if there's anything that you would like to hear in future shows, please reach out and let me know. It's evelyn@evelynmcaleer.com, and I want to wish you peace within yourself. Thank you.